I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. As Donald Trump was being criminally arraigned in Manhattan court, and at essentially the exact same time as the judge was admonishing him about his posts where he's threatening people, threatening the district attorney, and threatening the judge, Don Jr., Eric Trump, and Marjorie Taylor Greene were threatening Judge Juan Merchan, the judge who presides over Donald Trump's criminal case. They were threatening Judge Juan Merchan's daughter. That's right, you heard me, threatening Judge Juan Merchan's daughter. Now, their tactic, their stochastic terroristic tactic, is to attack family members of people that they target. And so, for example, with Special Counsel Jack Smith, they've attacked Special Counsel Jack Smith's wife. When it comes to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, they've attacked Alvin Bragg's wife. They put her name out publicly. I'm not going to show those posts where they put her name, but they put Alvin Bragg's wife's name out there publicly, knowing their cult followers on the cult social media platform will terrorize these individuals and threaten them. That's the point. And as Judge Juan Merchan, like at the exact moment, was admonishing Donald Trump about his posts threatening people, you had Eric Trump, Don Jr., Marjorie Taylor Greene posting photographs of Judge Juan Merchan's daughter. We are going to completely redact the photos and any reference to Judge Juan Merchan's daughter's name, but I do want to show you these posts. Before showing you these posts, though, I want to show you the inside account from a reporter at CNN who talked about the judge admonishment about these threatening posts being made by Donald Trump. Play the clip.
And to Trump, the judge said that he was not going to impose any kind of gag order. He said he wouldn't, even if he was asked right now, but he did warn the former president and also the prosecutors to warn their witnesses to tamp down their rhetoric, to reduce what they were saying about the case. And the judge warned both sides, but particularly speaking to former President Trump, not to make any statements that would incite any violence or threats against any officials.
So you see there, as I expected, there was no gag order that was issued, but what the judge basically was saying is that for now, no gag order, but I'm warning you about making future posts like this. And as the judge was saying this, here is a post from Donald Trump Jr. He posts a photograph of Judge Juan Merchan's daughter and says, "Seems relevant, yet another connection in this hand-picked Democrat show trial. The BS never ends, folks. Daughter of judge on Trump case worked on Biden-Harris campaign," and it is a photo of the judge's daughter. As George Conaway says, Don Jr., like his father, is scum. And I could not agree more. And look, it's all coordinated. Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Marjorie Taylor Greene says, "You can't even make up how corrupt this witch hunt is." And it is a post of Judge Juan Merchan and Judge Juan Merchan's daughter. We are going to redact that. And Eric Trump also posts, "Daughter of judge overseeing Trump's case, worked for Kamala Harris campaign, now serves as president of company that has Biden-Harris campaign as client." And it is a photo of Judge Juan Merchan's daughter. And this is what Donald Trump had previously posted, the threat about Judge Juan Merchan. Trump wrote, "The judge, quote, assigned to my witch hunt case, a case that has never been charged before, hates me. His name is Juan Manuel Merchan, was handpicked by Bragg and the prosecutors, and is the same person who, quote, railroaded my 75-year-old former CFO Alan Weisselberg to take a plea deal, plead guilty, even if you are not 90 days, 90 days, fight us in court, 10 years life in jail. He strong-armed Allen, which a judge is not allowed to do, and treated my companies, which did not plead viciously, appealing." So what he's referring to, though, Judge Juan Merchan was the judge who presided over the case, the felony case against the Trump organization, where the Trump organization and the Trump payroll organization was convicted on 17 felony counts. for their tax schemes that they were involved in. The jury absolutely hated the Trump organization, hated the lawyers for the Trump organization, hated the lying witnesses for the Trump organization. And it was a jury that very quickly, in 9 hours, found the Trump organization guilty on all 17 felony counts. By the way, Alan Weisselberg entering into the plea deal was probably the best thing Weisselberg could have done at that moment, because if he went on trial like the Trump organization, he would have lost, and he would have been sentenced for far longer than he ultimately was in Rikers Island, where he is still at now. And as Donald Trump continues to make these threats, people in his orbit justify it, and it is absolutely disgusting here. This was outside the courtroom. So after Donald Trump's arraignment, these are his lawyers, and here's Joe Tacopino, who's made an absolute fool of himself, as all Donald Trump's lawyers have, basically denying and gaslighting the public about what took place. And Tacopina, is saying here, trying to defend Donald Trump's horrific post that he's making. Play this clip.
Messages. We are here to talk about the case and litigate cases. We can't address what he posts or what he wants to post or did post.
But as his attorneys, have you told him to stop posting this rhetoric, these messages about the judge?
So what I said before was we can't, literally, we can't tell you what we've discussed with our client.
I understand,
so
but are you concerned that he's continuing to go after the judge, talking about the judge's wife, talking about the family? I don't
think the judge was concerned about it.
Yeah, but any other defendant, wouldn't you be like...
Any other defendant wouldn't be here today.
He's not going after the judge. He is not going after the judge. He commented that he thought that there were some issues that may cause a conflict. That's not going after the judge. He is not threatening the judge. He is not going after the judge.
He's going after the DA.
He has said that the DA, he is angry because the DA has brought a case that is unjustified. And so I'm not going to comment on it. You may disagree with the way he spoke, but he is angry.
Can you talk about the process? Was he fingerprinted? Was there a mugshot?
I'm not going to talk about it.
Was there a mugshot?
In fact, I think thank you for your attention.
This episode is brought to you by Betterhelp. Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially because we're always growing and changing. Now, the last few years especially have been a wild ride, filled with my own personal self-realizations and growth. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk through things. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Now, I personally have benefited directly from therapy, allowing myself to talk through and work through experiences in my past that were unknowingly having a major impact on the way I go about my day-to-day. Therapy is an incredibly helpful tool for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. Now, over time, I've truly learned how to become the best version of myself. And look, therapy is for everyone, not just folks who may have experienced major traumas, because what you're going through, what you're working through, it matters, and never discount that. Now, if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Meidas today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Meidas.
And then here's another clip of Tacopina, where Tacopina, again, more gaslighting, saying, oh, Donald Trump wasn't even swinging a baseball bat. That's not what took place, when it absolutely was the photo that Donald Trump did. Here, play this clip of Tacopino.
President not use language. He requested that everybody involved refrain from using language that's inappropriate. And by the way, that includes the witnesses for the people who are talking just as much.
It also includes the former president swinging a baseball bat at the head of the Manhattan DA.
Well, I don't know where you got that, because if
that was a tweet sent out by the former president.
No, it wasn't. And first of all, that picture was not him swinging a baseball bat. I mean, if you want to distort the facts, go right ahead. I want to address that. Yes, it is. He wasn't swinging a baseball bat at anyone's head. That was a picture of him showing off an American-made bat. Someone else put a picture of the district attorney next to him, and in an article posted that. That's not his article. It's not his photos.
Not using language that incites.
Guys, here's what we're going to talk about today. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the insufficiency of this case. And I will.
Here's Donald Trump's other lawyer the other day on Fox. This is Jim Trusty. Jim Trusty, one of Trump's lawyers, he lost the oral argument in the Southern District of Florida case where the corrupt judge Eileen Cannon kind of temporarily blocked the Department of Justice from gaining access to records. And remember that whole special master process that we talked about where Trump lost? Trusty was the loser lawyer on that case. And here's Trusty saying, look, this is all free speech, free speech. Play this clip.
To do.
President has had quite a bit to say, including this post from Friday. I'll read in part talking about the judge overseeing this case. He says, the judge assigned to my witch hunt case, a case that has never been charged before, hates me. A lot of that's in all caps. He goes on to say, that's the same person who railroaded my 75-year-old former CFO, Alan Weisselberg, to take a plea deal. He strong-armed Alan, which a judge is not allowed to do, and treated my companies, which didn't plead, viciously appealing. So a couple things to break down there. First of all, I'm an attorney. If my client posted that and was facing that judge, wouldn't make my job any easier. Does it worry you?
Well, look, the president's a big believer in free speech, as you know. He's got strong opinions. I think he's very frustrated for some of his very loyal employees being caught up in the machinery of a persecution. And so he feels strongly about it.
Look, I'm a firm believer in free speech, and I'm a firm believer that people shouldn't threaten each other and that we should be decent and we should have humanity and we should not act like violent crime bosses, okay? That's where things cross the line from free speech to violent threats. It's like how the MAGA Republicans just weaponize the concept of, free speech and say, well, free speech, so I'm just going to say the most dangerous and hateful threats, and that's free speech. You don't see how they weaponize such important constitutional protections we have. Typical disgusting conduct by MAGA. And here is Jason Chaffetz, former MAGA Republican congressperson, in a Fox interview, who, when he's confronted, he's asked the question, well, what do you think about Donald Trump's post where he talks about death and destruction and all of these things? And here you have Jason Chaffetz like kind of making a joke about it. And he's like, that's why people love him. Play this clip.
What Trump actually said was, it's known by all that no crime has been committed, and also known that potential death and destruction in such a false charge could be catastrophic for our country. Does that worry you at all?
Look, Donald Trump is always going to take the non-conventional way of doing things. He's going to defend himself. He's not just going to sit back and take it and let some other attorney go out and talk. I'm sure every attorney would advise their client, just don't say anything. But that's not Donald Trump. And that's why America loves the guy, is that he will go right into the face of whatever's coming after him and get back in their grill and tell him exactly what he thinks.
People don't love Donald Trump. And here's the thing with fascist movements. It's all a head fake, right? They try to create this perception that doesn't meet reality. That's what propaganda is all about. And where propaganda overcomes reality, then people think, oh, Donald Trump is untouchable, Teflon, blah, 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 blah. In reality, Donald Trump is incredibly weak. During his arraignment, we saw how weak he is. We saw his face. We saw how scared and terrified and deflated and alone he was. There was not a huge group of protesters for him. There was not a lot of people wearing, the red hats. He inflates the size of his crowds and inflates the size of everything that he does. And it is because it is all a fake. And if they could try to defeat you with perception and exhaust you, then they can try to overcome the true majority, the true people, the true power of the people who love democracy. That's why don't buy into this crap at all. That's why I want to just show you how dastardly and despicable it is. And let's put a bookmark here as well, because I think this is the beginning of a lot of situations where the judge is going to call Trump out and will escalate penalty, starting with a warning and then getting to more significant penalties, including potentially criminal contempt. But we will get there. I think it was the right move for the judge to make for now. Issue the warning, let everybody know that the judge is aware of what's going on, and then, level by level escalate it where necessary. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. So please hit subscribe. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Also, you can check us out wherever you get your audio podcasts. Just search MeidasTouch Podcast, search the MeidasTouch Podcast, and I think you will enjoy that as well. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. It's free.
The best part of waking up? MAGA tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA tears mug available now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com. It's 100% union made right here in the USA. I know I'm not tired of winning yet. How about you? Get yours today.